Hey guys, happy Saturday. I hope you're having a great day. If you're new here, my name is Cece and today we are doing part 1 of my kitchen makeover series. So first I'm going to show you the before, we're going to go over the game plan, and then we'll get to the projects that we're doing in this video. So I swear that I filmed the before. Like taking you guys through the kitchen, showing you what it looked like, letting you guys know what the plan was. However, I cannot find that footage. So either I'm crazy or something is afoot deleting my footage. Luckily, I did take pictures, so I'm coming to you from the future to take a journey to the before time. So what you're seeing right here is what you see when you walk into the kitchen, and that is our back door. We've got our table, we've got kind of like this little catch-all station. We switch back and forth whether we use the back door or the front door, but a lot of times we use the back door. So that is just some shoes, tote bags, there's some cat food there because there is an outside kitty who is very demanding of food. We do feed her. If you're my landlord, no, she does not come in the house. She stays outside, but I'm not a monster and I'm not gonna let this baby starve. Also, I'm pretty sure she's one of our neighbor's cats, but she's just an outside cat because she has a collar on, but she was very skinny when she showed up to our door and y'all need to be feeding her. Her name is Big Agua. You will see little clips of her here and there. But anyway, so this is what we currently have. Gotten it to a point where it is giving cafe a little bit, but it's very much leaning farmhouse, specifically those crate shelves. Now, those crate shelves are attached to the wall with some very strong command strips, and I don't want to damage the wall. And they are also pretty useful. I'm gonna keep them, but I think what's throwing me off and making it lean very farmhouse is the light wood. We'll go over the game plan for that here in a minute, but I just wanted to just show you what the current situation is. Moving on across the kitchen, this is like the sink area. Please excuse the dishes that are out drying. That drying rack goes in a cabinet. It is not always on the counter. We've got 2 floating shelves, a bunch of stuff on the counter. Again, it's getting to where I want it to be, but it's still giving farmhouse. We had a lot of decor from our old apartment, and the old apartment had a completely different vibe. The walls were like a beige. There was like a bunch of like wood tones, so we kind of really leaned into that. It was more vintagey. Sometimes it leaned more farmhouse, but in this apartment, as you can see, the walls are gray with dark gray trim. We do have original hardwood floors, which is chef's kiss. We love that. However, this apartment leans a little bit more modern. As you can see, there's gray cabinets, there's the gray granite countertop, and then there's the white marble floors. I want to warm it up because it is so much freaking gray. So we're gonna do what we can. But with these floating shelves that you're seeing right here, they are also a light wood. So I want to stain those as well. And obviously we're gonna zhuzh up the decor. I'm gonna show you now what vibe we're going for. This is the little mood board of the kitchen inspo that I put together. We do want to warm it up. Like I said, it is leaning very sterile in there, but we have to be careful with how we warm it up. What I've learned in this kitchen is if you fight against it too much, it just looks off. So we are going to lean into the modernness, but also make it a little eclectic. We're gonna make it a little cozier. I'm thinking like a Brooklyn wine/coffee bar, art all over the walls. Gotta add some color. I want some pottery in there, some handmade things, very like artsy leaning. I want it to give a really cool, artsy, eclectic cafe vibe that right now it is not giving. So there's a couple things right now that are quick, easy fixes that we can just go ahead and do. One of them being the runner rug that is currently in there is too small and it's not providing enough warmth. So we're gonna switch that out and we'll see where it goes with the table. So let's go do that real quick. So now that I've got the new rug down, I thought I would try out this tablecloth. I've had it for years. I hate it. It's a vibe. It's giving a vibe. It's giving cozy little cafe, but it's also giving cottagecore, grandma-core, farmhouse, which is a vibe. And if that is your vibe, kudos to ya. It's just not the vibe I'm going for. So she has got to go. This is the tablecloth I had on it before I switched the rug, and I like it, but now it just doesn't work with this rug. This is actually an old Cracker Barrel checkerboard mat. I think we're just gonna, yeah, I think we're just gonna raw dog it. That was unnecessary. But you see what I mean? I want it to give more modern. She stays. I love her. She gives cafe. She gives cute little cafe floor. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Normally I would very much be against like a love sign. I'm white, but I'm not that white. But I just love the tile design and it really like screams cafe. And I think with a little styling, I'll find something at a thrift store. It's very hard to find placemats that fit this table because it is a bistro table. If you have any recommendations, let me know. But for now, I think we're just gonna leave her raw, bold, beautiful. We are gonna style her though. Hello, cat. Hi. Oh, she's so pretty. I'm coming to give you food. Our next project is to make over the crate shelves. So this is the plan for that. I'm going to stain the crate shelves. I've got an espresso stain that we're gonna put on those. And then I'm going to make a hook rail. I got a 1x4 board cut down to size. And then I've got some black hooks that we're going to add as well, just to kind of elevate it a little bit, make it look more intentional, because right now those shelves are just floating in thin air. And there's those dinky little white command strip hooks on the wall, and those have got to go. They are god awful. So we're gonna do that. This is the overall plan for that little corner by the back door. Today we're gonna do the shelves, and then eventually we will get a shoe cabinet. We really need a storage solution for our shoes. I hate just like seeing them out. So we will be getting a shoe cabinet. That'll probably be in the next part. Here's the to-do list. We gotta stain the shelf, DIY the hook rail. We're going to minimize the decor. I'm going to replace the clock, then eventually add the shoe cabinet. So here is the current situation. As you can see, I've started doing test strips on this shelf, and this is looking fine. I can live with that color. It's not as dark as I wanted. I could probably do a second coat on that. I could maybe get it to the darkness that I want. However, this is a completely different wood than this. And I don't know if that's gonna drive me absolutely nuts. I mean, look at the color difference. That might drive me insane. We may have to pivot and I may just paint this, but we'll see, we'll see. Now this is the current state of this. So I did this on the back just to test it to see how it would do. It's doing nothing. I am gonna have to sand this, which I really did not want to do. I really hoped this was gonna be easier. However, it's not. So you see how it's like taking like the darkness that we want, because I'm using espresso and this is what it's supposed to be all over, but it's not doing that. Like it just won't take in a lot of these spots. I think this might be coated pine. So I am gonna have to sand this whole thing down. I'm also unfortunately gonna have to sand these down probably. It's definitely darker and it's better than that, but it's not what I want. I'll show you the top. See, like that's much better than that, but it's still not where I want it. I might just do a second coat and see what happens, but I really think I'm gonna have to sand that, which is so much more work than I wanted to do, but we prevail.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
Good morning. Here we are, it is several days later, and I have learned nothing. And that's why this isn't a tutorial. It's simply
a transformation
with an unpredictable ending, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
So turns out I don't actually understand how to use stain. And after all of this, I don't know that I want to. So I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know if it's because I opened the can and it had time to oxidize a little bit, or if I just gave it a better stir the second time around, but baby, we've got pigment. Yeah. So previously I thought I was going to have to sand the floating shelves. However, about 5 minutes into sanding, I was already ready to give up. Then I did another little test patch and it seemingly didn't make a difference. So I said, forget the sanding, because at my core, I am a lazy girl. You know? Lazy DIYs with CC. Period. So this is how the shelves turned out. They look so much better. Oh my God, that like completely changed the vibe of these shelves. So before I can put the new hook rail here, I have to get these old ones off. They are just like command strip hooks, but I'm a little nervous about getting them off because they seem to be very much on there. I've got my handy dandy butter knife, very professional, and we're about to take these off. All right, first victim. Just kind of, you see this technique? Yeah. Called the old wedge and wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle with it. It actually seems to be coming off pretty easily, but also not really at all. Not puncture a hole in the wall. Aha. Done. 2 more to go. Little paint came with that one. No biggie, we're gonna cover it up anyways. Oh. Okay, little paint, no biggie. We did it. It already looks so much better just with those command hooks gone. Those were driving me nuts. I hate command hooks. And the thing is that they make pretty command hooks. So just get those. But those little cheap white ones, if you got those, replace them. Or spray paint them at least, you know? That plastic white hook, ugh. No. All right, so they are all stained and done. I'm actually very happy with how they turned out. Unfortunately, these little crates are made up of a million different types of wood, so, you know, there's some inconsistencies, but overall, so much better. I want to give you guys a little behind the scenes. This is the current state of my kitchen. Yeah, but we're making progress. I know what you're all thinking. Christina, are you staining inside without the door open? Yes, I am. Yeah, it's hot out there. I might be high on fumes right now. Who knows? I might lose a few brain cells. But it's better than sweating to death. But don't do what I do. Definitely crack a window. I would if I could. We don't have screens and there's bugs. It's summertime in Tennessee, honey. So now that the crate shelves have been stained and those diabolical command strip hooks are gone, all that's left to do is attach our hooks to our piece of wood, and we have a hook rack. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know the proper term. Hook shelf, hook rail. I'm tired. Even though I know absolutely nothing about stain, even though I've stained so many shelves at this point, one thing I do know about is a drill. So let's get going. Step 1, make sure you gather all of your materials before sitting on the floor, especially if you're over 30. First, I'm gonna lay down some painter's tape so that I can mark where I want the hooks to go without making marks on the board. I think that's very smart, very wise. Look at me making good decisions. So now I've got the tape on the board. Everything's level. I've centered it. And now I'm just going to mark where I want my hooks. I want one in the center of each shelf, roughly. As precise as I can get it. And we're gonna eyeball it. I have never measured a thing in my life. You need to know that going forward. This is chaos. We don't do anything by the book here. Also, if it looks off, don't tell me. I don't need to know that. It's like the back of my head. I don't need to know what it looks like. Like, you guys know what it looks like because I'm showing you. But like, it's none of my business. That looks about right. And if it ain't, again, not my problem. Sure. I mean, if anyone is like looking this closely in my home for like imperfections, I'm showing them the door anyways, so whatever. That's the thing, like I'm such a perfectionist, but as I've gotten older, I've really learned to just let little things go because it's not worth the energy. You know what I mean? You can't control everything. Okay, so now that we've got our marks, I'm just gonna lay out my hooks and mark through like these little holes where the holes go, and then I'm going to drill pilot holes. I think that's what they're called. I could be wrong. Basically, I'm gonna pre-drill some holes so that when I screw in the screws, it doesn't split the wood. I think that's called a pilot hole, but I could be totally wrong. I told y'all I am just a girl who has the audacity to think she can do any DIY project. I'm not qualified for this. When drilling your hole for your screws to go into, you always want to drill the hole smaller than your screws. I know that sounds obvious, but trust me, it's important. And just like that, we got hooks, y'all. And no, I didn't stain the top. It's gonna go against the shelf. Why would I create extra work for myself? And no, I didn't stain the back either, but I did stain the bottom. Give me praise. Now it is time to attach this bad boy to the wall. And you might be thinking that I'm gonna do it the correct way, which would be to screw it and mount it properly into the wall. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna use command strips.
Yeah, right.
I know. Listen, we don't hang anything heavy on this. If anything, it's just tote bags. This is not heavy at all. This weighs less than a pound. And those shelves are hung up with command strips, and I'm telling you, they're on there. They're not going anywhere. I have stacked stuff on top of there. They ain't budging. So, command strips it is. If for some reason this fails and it comes tumbling down to the ground, you will be the first to know, and I will correct my mistakes and mount it properly. But today we're gonna do it the easy way and hope for the best. The command strips are on, and now it is time to stick it to the wall. Please let it hold. If I can just line this up correctly, that would be fantastic. Okay, we're in line, and push. There is a gap. Can you see the gap? The walls are crooked. Also, this board is a little bowed in the center, so I'm really hoping that this stays. If not, I will have to mount this. Wouldn't it be crazy? I just had like a intrusive thought, not intrusive, but just like an anxiety thought of like, oh my God, did I just hang this upside down? But then I looked directly in front of my face and literally no, I didn't. Go me. Okay. She feels like she's on there. Will it hold weight? I don't know, but we're gonna find out in an hour. Why didn't you guys tell me that I put the wrong side? See, that anxious thought was real. It just wasn't about it being upside down. It was about me putting the hooks on upside down because the stain side of the wood is on that side of the wall, and that is the one with the tag on it. I literally stained this side, but not this side because this side has the tag on it, and this is what I get for being lazy. I realize this is my karma now for being too lazy to take that barcode tag off. It's stapled in there. Also, anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I put the hooks on upside down. The plank needed to be flipped so that the stain side would be on this side. And I like literally didn't even pay attention to that. So now I still have to take the tack off and I have to stain that side. But that's a project for another day. I'll do that whenever. Okay guys, she is done. Oh my god, it looks so much better. This is how it turned out. I am so happy. It was worth all those hours of staining and failing at staining. You guys be honest. Is that sign still two white people? Probably, but we're gonna add more art. We're gonna do some counter styling. It's gonna work out, I promise. Trust me. Just so you guys can get a feel of the vibes we're going for with like art and styling. This is my stove setup. I think she's looking good. This is actually one of the first things I did when we got here, and I just kind of threw it together and it ended up being the best part of the kitchen. So that's the vibe we're going for all over. Then over here on the other side of the stove area, we've got our little refrigerator with our little cutesy microwave. Shout out Justin for giving that to us. It is so cute. And of course, a kitchen lamp. If you don't have a kitchen lamp, what are you doing? We need the vibes in the kitchen. Is that a fire hazard? Probably, but it looks good. No, in all seriousness, I will probably keep that when it's lit. I will keep it on the counter, and when it's not lit, she will stay up there. But oh my god, what a vibe! What a vibe! Staining those shelves just like completely changed the vibe of them. How many times can I say vibe? My god, but I am loving this so far. So that does it for today's video. I think we're at a good little stopping point. In the next part, we are gonna go thrifting, find some really cool pieces, maybe hit up the market, see if we can find some art or homemade items. We're gonna style the counter, we're gonna style the table, get some fresh flowers, and really get that cozy vibe up. And of course, we're gonna cover those walls in art. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up on your way out and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around and see more. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.